Hey everybody, Spartan back with another episode of Hybridcraft. Do you notice anything different about the building behind me? How about this one? Okay, I know you see it now. We've been playing around with textures. I figure this is Hybridcraft after all, and we're supposed to take advantage of every aspect of the game. So let's dabble in textures a little bit. Now don't worry, I'm not going to make any major changes. I want everything I do to feel very vanilla because I want it to be relatable to you guys so that anything I build, you can build in vanilla and it'll look just as good. Maybe not quite as good because, or at least in my opinion, or else I wouldn't use these changes like this. But I'm already using Faithful, which is a 32 by 32 version of the vanilla 16 by 16 version that Mojang gave us, but they gave us this ability to customize so many things. Why not do it? So this is my little bit of a venture into texture changes, and I've never done this before. It's pretty easy actually. But why did I change this one? I changed sandstone because, well, obviously because I didn't really love the original. I do like the brick here, and it was super easy. In fact, I think I'm going to show you guys how I did that because the more I think about it, the more I think maybe I want something a little closer to vanilla. Maybe not brick like this, although I do really like it. So I'm curious to what you guys think about this versus what I'm going to show you in a minute. But obviously I did the same thing to this. But basically what bugged me about the sandstone was the line that goes across it, because when you build a lot of stuff out of sandstone or build a building out of a lot of sandstone, it always has this line that goes across the top here and here on every, it just makes a bunch of rows and it just doesn't feel very natural to me. So I wanted that to be gone and I just went with this brick texture, but I think there's actually a better way of doing it. So hang tight, let's go, let's meet up on my desktop. Okay, the easiest way to access your resource folders is through Options, Resource Packs. Here they all are. Let's just open the Resource Pack folder. That's going to pop open, well, the Resource Pack folder, of course. So we're going to customize one, and this is not creating a new resource pack, obviously. We're just going to make some minor tweaks, real simple stuff that anybody can do, and I'm going to show you how to do that. So just pick the resource pack that you want to work with. And in this case, we're using Faithful, and so we're going to open that one up, and into Assets, Minecraft, and Textures. Finally, into Blocks. And then we're going to search for Sandstone, because that's what we're working with. I'm going to open up the normal sandstone and the normal red sandstone, and then I'm going to drag them into Photoshop, because that is the program that I have. If you guys are using something different, all of this stuff is possible through other programs, but I'm just not familiar with them. And this is an older version of Photoshop, but the newer version should be very, very similar. So yeah, so this is what we're with. This is the 32 by 32, so that's still not a lot of pixels. So we're going to zoom in here, and you can see it goes ahead and gives us the grid per pixel because there's not a whole lot. It's so zoomed in. There's not a lot of detail, so that makes this editing kind of simple. So let's go through the process real quick. So what I'm going to do is we want to get rid of this band here is the whole idea, right? And for me, I think the easiest thing to do is just to go into our image size, or no, our canvas size rather, and we're going to expand this because I need to know where this joins up. Like I can't just turn this into random stone. I need it to actually join up in a tiled fashion, and I'm not really sure how else to explain that except just to show you. So we're going to make this 3 times as big as it is, okay? And there we go. So let's zoom out a little bit, and to help us out, we're going to turn on ruler snap here. We're going to turn on our snapping, and then we are going to drag down here to create a couple of borders, and so you can kind of see how that's snapping in place already. And this will help us copy and paste this into all these areas, and why we will see in just a moment. So let's go ahead and get our marquee. Select this bad boy right here. Control-C for copy and Control-V for paste. And let's go ahead and move that new in there. We're going to paste another one, and we're just going to do that all the way around. Okay, now that we've done that, I'm going to go ahead and turn off the grid just so I can see a little bit better. We're going to hide, where's the clear guides? Right there. And then I'm going to zoom in a little further. So the idea is we want all these lines to match up, right? That's why we went ahead and expanded this grid so that I could see this part here is the same as this part, and I want to make sure that these line up just right, and this helps me to do that. So and this shows all the way around that block, obviously. So you guys can kind of see where that is. In fact, if you wanted to leave the grid on, that would probably not be a bad idea. So now, since we're at such a small scale here, what we're going to do is select our paintbrush and make sure it's at 1 pixel right here. And then I went ahead and clicked a pretty soft brush here, and that just makes it a little bit easier in my opinion. So now all we've got to do is I'm just holding Alt to select the color that I want, and then I'm just going to create new stones right here. Okay, let's call that good enough for now. You get the idea at this point, I do believe. So now we're going to get rid of these guides one more time and just shrink this back down to its normal size. All right, that is our finished product essentially. So now all we got to do is save this right back where it was, or we can create a new file, and I'll show you that in just a minute. Now, before we get that far, why don't we show you how we would go ahead and make this exactly the same. I don't want to go through that entire process again. There's a lot quicker way to do this and to make sure everything is exactly the same. So what we're going to do is we are going to go up here to Image, Adjustments, and then we're going to match color. We're going to select the source, and we're going to select the red sandstone here. And so as you can see, it just overlaid. See, there's no bar here. What it did is it just overlaid this color, or it matched it, I guess is what it's called. And now we have the exact same image in the red sandstone. Pretty easy. Now make sure when you save these, you're gonna save them as PNG files. If it comes up as Photoshop or something else, make sure it's saved as PNG, and make sure it's saved as the exact same name here. So let's jump back in the game and see what it looks like. First off, let's start with what we had to begin with, and you can see this line here that I am not a fan of. It's alright, but it's just, I think it would be better if it all blended together instead of having these lines everywhere. So let's take a look at what we did. Alright, here's our final product. And I think it looks pretty good. It's a lot more natural in my opinion. And I think I'm going to stick with this over the brick because it is it's a texture that we don't actually have in the game. I don't want to get rid of it and lose it completely. That brick I do actually like probably a little bit better, but this probably feels, well, this definitely would feel a lot more natural in natural generation. You know, when you find it in a desert, it wouldn't make sense to see actual bricks. But so this does make more sense in that regard. And like I said, this texture itself is not something anywhere else in the game. It's similar to cobble, but it's definitely different. Check the description if you like this. I'll have a link to both this and the brick texture that we made originally. And when you put it in your world, this is, I recommend going with Faithful, but you can use this with any texture pack you want. And let me show you how to do that real quick. If we go into options, and first and foremost, you got to have Optifine to use anything bigger than a 16 by 16 texture pack. Anything bigger than that's considered HD. So you have to have Optifine. And here's something that I discovered. I don't know the reason behind this, but you do have to go into quality and make sure that your connected textures is off. I might be doing something wrong, but I can't get this to work with connected textures. So make sure that's turned off if you're using a resource pack like what I'm doing here. Now, let's look at the resource pack itself. Look at this big jumbled mess. This is a lot, isn't it? So what I've done here is I've kind of taken inspiration from Azumavoid. In fact, most of these are his. These are all, what he did is he made a modular pack that allows you to pick and choose. So you've got a base resource pack, which down here is the faithful 1.11 for me. And then on top of that, I've added the beautiful skies that I have, and I kind of renamed that and made that kind of my own. But it's basically Halcyon Days. If you look that up, you can find that. Just use the skies only. There's a lot of tutorials on there about how to do that on YouTube already. But yeah, so it's if I can get it out, Exuma made all these modular things. So it's just this. So this texture pack is just clean stained glass that looks like that, just clean glass. And he did some stuff like with Wither Hearts, and where you can see the green on the side of sticky pistons, because normally you can't tell them apart from regular pistons from the side. All that stuff, which I thought was a great idea. And there's a lot of other stuff he added in here, options that I didn't pick. So that's what's cool about this, is it allows you to pick and choose what you want to update about your texture pack. So that's what I'm going to do. And you can see right here, I've got the better sandstone, and then I've got regular sandstone over here. So it does kind of make it a mess, but I think overall it's really cool to be able to customize like that. So for you guys, if you check out the description, you'll see one for better sandstone and for sandstone. Just put them in your resource pack folder like you normally would, and then make sure that they are above on this list over here. They're above your actual resource pack. That's why mine is all the way down here at the bottom. Now I did one more thing. And I was just in the mood for it. So I did this right here. I look a little bit different. So it's the same skin. It's just blue and gray now. But why did I do this? I did it because I can, basically. There's no sense in me going with a color I don't like, the gold that I didn't care for, just because it went with a name that I picked at random. So maybe this doesn't make sense, but I like it, so deal with it. If you guys like this texture pack stuff, let me know. I always enjoyed the behind the scenes stuff when I watch YouTubers. I still do. And yeah, so let me know if you enjoy that. If not, I'm going to keep doing this on my own regardless either way, but I don't have to show it in the videos. So if I do, it's just going to be a quick little thing here and there. We're not going to spend a whole lot of time on it like we did this time. Just be a quick little speed up montage kind of thing, I guess. But yeah, let me know. So with all this sandstone, does this give us a clue to what we're going to be doing today? I'm probably going to be working a lot of sandstone, aren't I? Nope, not one bit. All right, let's think about this though. What was my plan here? Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, that's it. Okay, fourth wall is broken. Okay, let's talk about a little bit of personal stuff. I have been crazy lethargic lately. I work night shift. I don't know about you guys, but staying up all night is not always fun, and it's not too bad if I can stay on that schedule, but lately I've been having to switch back and forth from night shift and day shift every week, and it takes me days and days and days to be able to actually adjust, which kind of stinks. And I've been so lethargic and tired, and every time I go to record something, I have to record it like 15 times because it's horrible and I'm just not satisfied with it. And frankly, this is probably not going to be my favorite recording either, but hopefully you guys bear with me. Hopefully it's not as bad as I think it is. I know that people, myself included, definitely can be a little bit harder on themselves than others are. So hopefully it's not too bad, but that's why I did what I did with the texture pack and stuff like that, because even though I wasn't in the mentality to do some recording all the time, I still wanted to get some stuff done. So as you can see, we're kind of modifying our survival base here. And I know that you guys really wanted animations. You voted really high on that on the video where I asked you to. Thank you for that, by the way. And I'm definitely going to get into that. Obviously, that's something I'm really into as well. And we're going to get into that next episode probably. I'm definitely working on that, but my brain's been farting. and I haven't come, I know exactly what I want to do, but doing it is a different story. So we're going to get to that here very soon. But in this episode, we're going to do a little bit of working over here in the survival base, which I'm really in the mood to do. Like I'm digging it. Like I really want to get super survival oriented, and I want to be able to do that over in our other main area that we started a while back. So the sooner we can get there, the better. So I've got an idea. What's the quickest way? If I want to get in game as fast as I can, and I want to get geared up, and I'm going to get all the stuff that I can as quickly as possible, what's the quickest way to do that? Well, I'm thinking the first project that I need to do is going to be an AFK fish farm, because that's going to get us all kinds of enchantment books mainly is what I'm really looking forward to, and other stuff as well. But yeah, I need to get some enchanted gear going on, and that's what we're going to work on today. I just kind of wanted to give you guys a little chat and kind of show you some of the other stuff I was doing in the meantime. In fact, why don't we switch back over to creative, and that way I can kind of show you real quickly kind of what I've done. I don't know if you guys remember, but this here, because I pasted this in from another world, it was just one big square block, and actually you can see the line right there. And I might have to get back into MC Edit and learn that program again so that I can make this a little less obvious, this square, because that kind of bugs me. But when I did that, this kind of just jutted out as a big square, because that's kind of, I guess, how we designed it in the other world. And I didn't like that. I wanted it to look a little more natural. So I did my best, and I just kind of rounded this out here and made this feel a little more like a river. And then over here, I liked that lagoon kind of area going in there. And I just added this little island here and made it feel, hopefully, a little more natural. And then down here, we talked about up in the treetops having wooden huts and things, which makes sense. And then down at the bottom having a ruined area. And we've kind of already got that a little bit right here, right? With the cobblestone walls kind of supporting the land, which I think I'll kind of extend that and do that in a few other places. And then right here, that looks pretty cool to me. It's kind of a cobbly ruined area with some other bricks here and there. But so what I'm thinking is we're going to actually have a lot of stone down here eventually. Right now, not so much, but that's what I'm trying to change with all of this right here. So since that's the case, I've been slowly but surely replacing this path here as well, because originally it was like this, which I actually like this look better, to be honest. I like that a lot better. But I think once we turn this building into primarily stone and we start adding more buildings around here that are primarily stone, it's going to be just too much stone. So I think this path is going to go real well and look real good in between all the stone buildings that we build. And I'm trying to use jungle wood because that's our primary resource here, and it makes sense, to try to make this look a little jungly, I guess you could say. So that's what we're gonna give it our shot and try to make everything real jungly. I'm not really sure if I'm gonna be able to do it. I'm gonna have to come up with a bit of a block chart, as Iskall85 would call it, and try to figure out what looks good with this block. It's too pink for me, just to be honest with you. So I don't think that's something I'm going to change in the texture pack, because if you change that, then it's not going to go with the same blocks. Like right now, it actually goes with dirt pretty well. And if I change that hue, it's less pink. It's just not going to, it's going to change the way that I design things, and that won't be as relatable. So I'm probably not going to change that kind of stuff. Now, I will say, while we're on this subject, I kind of have thought about changing this, because this is super saturated, and I'm not sure I can get away with it though, because again, it's probably not going to look good when it's naturally generated in the world if I change the color. So I don't know. We may play around with it. We'll see. We're going to make the auto fish farm from Panda 4994, and we have already got all the materials required for the build right here, and maybe a couple more in addition to that. And then, as always, I am going to go ahead and make this available to you guys in the downloads. I always say that. In the description, you will find a link to a download for this, along with some other details, of course. But let's hop on over to where we're going to place this thing. That's why I have this path here, because I figure since it's a fishing farm, we're going to go ahead and place it over here near the water. Makes a lot of sense, right? So it is an AFK fish farm, but I want to make all of our redstone and all of our farming things, like this here is very manual, the tree farm, obviously. And I'm not against that in a lot of situations, and we will probably automate things as time goes on. But when we do automate things like we do with this fish farm, I want it to feel realistic to the world. And this automatic fish farm, well, it's not very realistic it doesn't really make sense. It wouldn't fit in with an environment like this. So we're going to build a structure around it and make it feel like it's an actual fishing hut is the idea. But first, I've got to build the interior to know what I'm dealing with to build the exterior. So let's get started. Well, here we are, guys. This monstrosity of a mechanism here. It's all said and done. I've been practicing and or not practicing. I've been testing it out, and it's been working out pretty good. I'm going to leave a link in the description to Exumavoid's fix for Panda's original design, because it was broke in 1.11, 1.10, one of those. But anyways, in 1.11, all you got to do is essentially change this fence out here, but you got to have this piston as well, and it changes some redstone because of that. So I will let him explain that. He does a much better job than I do. So check that out. And in the meantime, we're going to figure out how to design a building around this thing. Oh, and let me show you first real quick the very basics. The very, very basics are this chest here is fed through some hoppers below it that will pop the fishing rods into my body while I'm AFK as they break. We won't need that eventually once we get mending, but I don't have that yet. So until I catch one of those mending books, we're going to have to use this here. And then over here is where we get all of our goodies. And not a lot of awesome stuff yet, except what do we got here? Depth Strider, that ain't bad. I'll take it. Lure, okay, so we could apply that towards a couple things. That's a good little deal. So yeah, so I'm looking for a whole lot more of that. That's going to help us get to our end game quickly, and that's going to be nice. So yeah, guys, let me work on figuring out a design for this. I'm not sure if I want a fishing hut to be made of stone, but I did say that the stuff that's on the ground is going to be made of stone here, like ancient ruins. So we might be able to get it to work. We'll see. Nothing is set in stone, if you know what I mean. So well, I apologize. That was weak, I know. But we're going to work on that and see what we can come up with. Also, I wanted to quickly mention, I have a new mic set up, and in listening to the stuff I've already recorded, I noticed there's a lot of bad pop sounds with my P's and my B's and things like that. I'm sorry about that, guys. It will get better. I think this is a better setup in general for us. Hopefully the audio quality is a little bit better for you. But yeah, long story short, I've ordered some new parts, and one of the things I've ordered is a pop filter that will help protect the mic from those hard sounds like that. And it's coming in from China, and it's going to take like a month and a half to get here, which is insane. So I'll try to watch my P's and B's until then. But yeah, bear with me. It's getting better. I promise it's heading in the right direction. I tell you what, I don't mind the jungle wood so bad. When it's put together the right way, I think it looks pretty good. You just can't really mix it with any other woods, or else it starts looking kind of funky in my opinion. But yeah, I think this turned out okay. I think the key here is we're gonna, it's not really, I guess if it's a jungle ruins, it's just now starting to ruin. I put some cracks and stuff in it, but I don't really want to tear down the walls and all that stuff. I mean, we're actually using this thing, so I want it to be safe from zombies and things. So it's gonna be a complete build, and I'll just poke holes in it where I can. But yeah, I think this is kind of the style we'll end up with. I'm going to use a lot of these blocks here. That feels very jungle, Aztec, Mayan, or whatever you want to call it to me, along with the brick. And then you can see what I did here. Pretty easy. Basically, it's a square box. I wanted to keep this thing as small as I possibly could. And so I just built out the small square footprint that I could around the structure that was already there for the farm, and then I just took the corners out by one on each side. Now I did mess up a little bit. Well, it's not me so much as the farm just was an odd size and dimension, and so this side over here doesn't stick out the same. But don't tell anybody. It's not. It's one of the reasons I put this over here to wrap around was kind of to distract from that. But yeah, so this way it feels like an actual little fishing hut, hopefully. It is stone. I did look up a lot of jungle builds and huts, and they're all very, they're not stone at all. They're just, thatch and nothing like this, but I feel like this still goes with our theme pretty good. So we're going to kind of make up our own style, and I feel it works out pretty good. Now the roof I don't love. I really don't like these little roofs at all, and I think the right kind of roof can make a build look great. Don't love these, but from the ground it looks okay. And I feel like this just makes sense for these kinds of huts to have this just sloping roof on every side. If you can see from here, there's a little hole up there, right there. And it's not bad because you can't really tell unless you get up here, and even then you're having to look for it. But that needs to be there to make this farm work correctly. You need to have glass, and basically daylight needs to get to the water right here. So this farm, I will leave a link to Exumavoid's modifications of it, but Panda has actually recently released a new farm that's even simpler, even better. I already built this because he like literally just released it, and it looks like it's a way better farm. But since I've already got this one here, I think it turned out okay. It looks okay, so we'll keep it this way. So I'm gonna go ahead and upload this as a structure file, as you guys are aware I always do. And while we're at it, a lot of you guys, I've mentioned this briefly in the last episode, maybe a couple episodes ago, that I've actually been in talks with an app developer that's called MC Pro App. And it was an app that was out on the market a while back. This guy bought it and has been doing some crazy work on it, making it really awesome. And he's going to release it on the 13th of December. You guys need to check it out. It's on iPhone only right now, but if you have an iPhone or an Apple product, tablet or mobile device, get on the App Store and check it out. It's pretty cool. Basically, it's a way for you guys to get these builds and to share builds with me and with each other the same way that we've been doing with our structure block files, but we're going to, through this app, you can actually do it in with mobile devices, because before that wasn't really possible. It was all PC. So now you can do it with any platform. We can share builds together and kind of have these cool single player servers that we develop together. But yeah, check out the app. It's really cool. Not only can you share the builds themselves, but you can get blueprints, and they're working on redstone blueprints as well, which is going to be awesome for me since I'm trying to learn redstone. Maybe you guys too. But basically what you can do is you can build this thing layer by layer instead of just copying and pasting it from world to world. And I think that's even cooler because that really helps us learn exactly how the person that uploaded it built it, since you're building it yourself. And so, yeah, a really cool idea, really neat app. Is not sponsored or anything. I'm still working on him. he needs to sponsor me. But no, seriously, it's a cool app. I think it's going to be really cool at final release. I've kind of been checking out the work in progress, and I advise you guys go check it out. December 13th is when it's going to be out, and that's when you need to get it because there's some pro features that will later be paid for that you can get for free if you get it on the first day. So again, it's called MC Pro App, currently iPhone App Store only. Let me show you how to get the most out of this. This is something that took me a minute to figure out because I've been away from survival for so long. But in order to use the AFK machine, where you have to actually click a button to perform an action like this, you have to go through a few special steps to actually be AFK or away from keyboard. So what you're going to do first and foremost is you're going to hit F3 and P. And what that's going to do is that's going to allow you to tab out of your screen without pausing the game. Okay? And then the next step is you're going to actually need to be in... you need to be in windowed mode, not full screen mode. So right now I'm in full screen. If I hit F11, it's going to take me in window mode. And now you should be able to see my desktop. And if I hit escape, it pauses it and it allows me to move my mouse out here. And I'm right clicking on my desktop, interacting with it, right? But I want to, if I do that, then it's going to, it pauses the game. So how do we prevent that from happening? How do we keep using our fishing rod and using this farm? Well, let's turn it on and I'm going to go ahead and start playing. So now I've got my mouse lined up where I need it to actually use the machine. And then I'm going to hit, so I'm holding down my right mouse button right now. So the next step is to hit F11 to go to full screen mode again. And as soon as I do that, I'm going to release my right mouse button, okay? Here we go. It might take a couple tries, but there you go. I am no longer holding my right mouse button, but we've tricked the game into thinking that I am. And now all we've got to do is hold Alt and hit Tab, and we've gone into the desktop again, and my guy is still playing. So now I can interact with my computer. I can do anything else that I want, and my guy's still in there fishing away. Okay, here's another really important step I left out. Turn your stinking sounds down, because good grief, that is annoying. All right, let's see what kind of loot we got. I've been AFK for, I don't know, probably a total of a couple hours. And I got all these chests set up down here. Let's see. Here's the, okay, there's the original chest of what we had. So I guess all the new loot is going into probably this one. Yeah, there it is. And, oh, nice. Okay, we got a lot of books. Oh, and see, look, we've got enchanted rods and reels everywhere, too. So, oh, man, infinity. Oh, man, see, that's fantastic. This is what I'm talking about. We got some, look at all the name tags even. Man, look at this loot. Okay, I'm going to have to go power up. I'm gonna go combine some of this stuff. That's exciting, cool. And look, I'm leveled up to 36 from 28 as well. So that's the other good thing about it. But man, this is only from a couple hours, so we're probably gonna have to put a little incinerator in here because we are gonna get a lot of trash. Like, who wants leather boots? I don't care about those. So otherwise, man, that's pretty exciting. I'm gonna get to town and see what we come up with. All right, so I ended up using up pretty much all of my experience, but I ended up with almost the perfect bow. All I need probably is unbreaking, and I actually have another bow that has that, but I don't quite have the XP to get it yet. So that is pretty exciting, and that's after a very short time. So I'm going to spend a lot of time in this between episodes and probably get super geared up. This by itself is probably going to get us as far as we need to go to get to the end, and then in the end we can get all the other stuff that we need. It won't be very long until we're at that end game, basically. So guys, until next time, keep it creative. I'm gonna go sharpshooting.